so that I can deliver some food to my brother. Um, I go food shopping for him. In the beginning, I was taking him with me, and I didn't know, didn't realize that when he has a mind at best sometimes of a 14-year-old that's greedy and hungry all the time. So I would try to encourage him to write a food list, things like that, and he would never do it. And so yeah, I tried to take him grocery shopping with me one day, and he just started saying, "I want this, I want this, I want this," like he was 5. So it's almost like a 14-year-old at best turns into a 5-year-old at worst, right? So I had stopped taking him with me and trying to collect a food list or experiment or ask, like, "Do you like this? Do you like this?" Hi, Magneticus. Hi. Finishing up food shopping with for my brother, not with him, but I'm explaining why I don't take him anymore. I used to take him with me, um, but he acts like he's 5, even though he's in his 40s. Um, like legitly, like he'll just go around saying, "I want this, I want this, I want that," and I'm like, can't afford all that. And then he would also eat it all. That was the other mistake I was making in the beginning, where I would buy him a week's worth of groceries and it would be gone in 3 days. Okay. So let me show y'all. So what I have to do now, luckily over the summer I got a new refrigerator. I was in need of a new refrigerator. So seriously, mine broke down. So I now have a new refrigerator, even though I'm still renovating my kitchen. I'm going to show you what I have. Like, this is roughly about $100 worth of food. Some of it is I'm going to hold back and put in my refrigerator, in my freezer. Um, I got a bargain. I went to the Devil Mart. Yeah, I did. So luckily, I've got some whole chickens, rotisserie style. I got 4 of them for $2 each. So to me, that's a bargain for him. Okay. Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, that's exercise, Magneticus. So yeah, so I got a bargain on this. And once I saw that, I was like, yeah. So I went ahead and got 4 of them. I'm going to give him one, a whole one. It might take him a day or two to eat it all the way, but we'll see. I also got another bargain, at least for me. I do enjoy eating bread, even though shouldn't be eating bread in America. So a baguette for $1, that's a bargain to me. Okay, so I went ahead and got one of those, or some extra one of those. So yeah, so I've got roughly $100 worth of food here. I got the staples like butter, eggs. I did not get the milk because one of the other I was making. So this is the egg. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these in the front with me. Other mistake I was making with buying him milk, was in half gallons or quarts, because what he would do, he would take that half gallon or quart and take it to his bedroom and have it sitting out for days. And by the time that he's drinking it down, of course, you know what happens to milk when it's out too long, right? So, yeah, so I strategically now get his milk by the gallon, where he has to pour it into a cup. And yeah, the cup is sitting out for days and days, but at least the whole, you know, rest of the milk is not getting spoiled. So I have to purchase it, and then I only wait until he's almost done with the milk. Like, he has to be finished before I buy him more milk. Um, Even though, again, in the past, he was kind of telling me, like, I'm running low on milk. You know, he'd get panicked. And I'm like, well, when you run out, then I'll get you some. Yeah, the butter is really expensive. So I got the store brand, 4 sticks it was almost $4. That's kind of running high. That's even for the store brand. But I mean, I would prefer butter over margarine, y'all. Not prefer. Margarine's not real food. So get butter. or learn how to make butter or something. Okay, so even when they call it now, they're trying to rebrand it as plant butter. That's not butter. It's not butter. Okay, so I get the staples. He does like pineapple. I've realized I was getting him cut pineapple, which is not a problem per se, but I figured out that, did you know that the whole pineapple costs a whole lot less than it already cut up? Did you know that? Once I figured that out, I started getting whole pineapple now. So it's a lot cheaper. It's fresh. It's cut. I do not get fruit cups. That is basically candy in a cup with the juices and stuff. Because again, he was asking for that kind of stuff. And wherever he was before he started living with me, they were just giving him processed food or whatever, just convenience food, whatever they're calling it, conveniently killing you, right? Yeah, it was. You're correct. So margarine was basically meant for mechanical devices. And then they figured, oh, we can flavor it and feed people who are starving. So we're not a nation of starving people. You can eat butter. Eat butter. All right. So got him some dried goods, some crackers. He enjoys eating salad. So I did get him uh, lettuce. There's celery. There's carrots in here too. So he does eat salad. So I try to encourage the healthy eating. I would have gotten him potatoes, but the potatoes he still has some left. So again, what I would do in this case, I would go ahead and buy potatoes ahead of time and leave it at my house versus have it there with him. Because again, he starts seeing all the food and he starts eating it all. Like he'll gorge on it because, yeah, just because. Trying to think if there's anything else. So I got potato salad, coleslaw, but again, I'm holding that back for later in the week at my house. Got him Gatorade. He already has Gatorade, but again, I'm holding it back because he will just take it and drink all of it, seriously, in a matter of days. So he doesn't realize that the price of food is high. He doesn't realize that the president and all those other folks out there are like gouging people. He has no idea because he's mentally disabled. All right, let's see what else. Oh, I got him peanut butter. I might pop in at another store because there were some personal small pieces that he likes to get, but they have gone up in price. So I just kind of, sorry, there's somebody in the other car next to me. So let me go ahead and close this out. So yeah, so I'm going to put the eggs up front with me because, that's how you do that. Yeah, so my brother has no idea about the state of affairs in the world right now. All he knows is, if there's food in the refrigerator, he's going to start eating it. If there's food in the cupboards, he's going to just eat it and just eat it, just gorge on it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, so I have to be just very strategic in how I eat food. Yeah, like I feel like a lot of it's interesting that you say that because my theory is that a lot of like mental illness, a lot of kids with attention deficit and all this stuff, I feel like there is a nutritional aspect to it. I'm a teacher, by the way. I teach elementary school, so I've seen kids, years and years of kids, and how they behave and things like this. So I have a theory about the nutrition or the supposed nutrition that the United States provides us with convenience foods or overtly processed foods, by the way. Um, and it's also my theory as a biohacker because I've been eating or trying to have a healthy lifestyle for years. I got sick about 11 or 12 years ago. Sorry, I'm looking for a garbage can now. And of course, you know what? Wally Mart is the devil. I ain't gonna lie. The devil is a lie. Sure is. All right, so there's no garbage cans out here at all. All right, so it is my theory that a lot of mental illness, not the sole cause, but it's definitely a contributing cause. Okay. And because of that, we need to start eating real food again. Real food. Okay. I grew up on a farm. Me and my brother grew up on a farm. So, um, while even though he still showed signs of the mental illness in his teenage years while we were out there on the farm, he does improve a lot when he eats protein. I try to get him to eat, which I still do every once in a while, tofu. But because most people believe all protein must be meat, and I know as a biohacker that that's not always the case. In fact, eating plant-based protein, unprocessed that is. So that's the other thing. Things like last night, I had kale chips that I made myself. I, bought the kale. Sorry. I bought the kale and I put it in the oven last night. It was delicious. I loved it. And that's a source of protein. A lot of people don't know that. So I'm just trying to, help soothe some symptoms that he has. And that's the other thing. I try to give him more, like, in fact, as you say, pink Himalayan. Yep, I tried to give him some of that. He doesn't like. He wanted the iodine. Like he he showed me symptoms of withdrawal. Okay, as in he craved junk food. He craved garbage food. Um, there's on some level I can't stop him. If he's buying certain things, I do give him like a weekly allowance, and I just can't stop him from just buying things, certain things like Coca-Cola, which I'm not a fan that he's buying that. And he's got a bag of, uh, I don't know where he got it, but some hot Takis, but he doesn't eat hot food. So he's got it. I don't think he likes it, but I think he likes the idea of it being junk food. So it's there. So yeah, so he sometimes he'll just crave junk food like a junkie. Just gonna be honest, okay? Um, so I kind of have to provide him something that feels more like junk food. Um, um, I don't know exactly why iodized salt. I'm theorizing now. I can go and do the research because I was looking at my outline last night, my book. So I've been trying to write this book for years, y'all. So this health food book for families, that families and kids can read and learn about nutrition and health and stuff. Um, as I was looking at my outline last night, um, I wanted to include maybe like some chapters or information about the history of the American food system industry and how, yes, I do eat popcorn. He does too. Um, and how over the last, I want to say 150 years, how the food industry kind of like, and it all started off well enough. I am going to say that. So it all started off well enough because a lot of people don't realize that unregulated systems, these food companies, they were putting literally sawdust in food. Okay. So I'm not demonizing the FDA or USDA at all, because there were some really unscrupulous things going on, um to save money or to like gain a buck or whatever. So yeah, there were companies putting sawdust and paper in food, ground up paper, okay, in food. And so yeah, so those entities had to exist for that reason, to regulate food safety, right? um But over the years, things happen where companies get smarter and they know how to label or not label things, and people are assuming things. So even as I was in the aisles today, um, yep, yep. Exactly. Yeah, so they try to put cosmetically dress up, the foods that they're trying to sell you. Um and that would be a part of one of the chapters. It's like why does food need a commercial? Has anybody ever thought about that? Why does food need a commercial? It doesn't, because we naturally eat food. It's just like, all right, take a deep breath. A commercial comes on. It's like, you need to breathe. Take a deep breath. Oh, yeah, go buy this air. So it's like, why does food need a commercial? And why buy certain foods over other foods? Have you ever seen a commercial for lettuce? For just a head of lettuce? No, you haven't really. Because, yeah. Now you have seen commercials for restaurants that, serve lettuce and things like that. So those are the kind of things that I had been thinking about over the years with food safety, health, wellness, all of that kind of stuff. And yeah, so I'm going to drop off some of this food at my brother's apartment, and I'm going to take the rest of it and put it in the freezer. Cause yes, like I said, he enjoys eating food, and I do try to cook for him. Last week I did make a pork roast and barbecue for him that he threw away some of it that next morning, and I was so upset. But luckily it was frozen and put in bags. He tried to drop the bags in the garbage can and think that I wouldn't go through the garbage, so I do. I have to, sadly. So I got some of it back and put it back in my refrigerator. This morning he pulled out another one. I think he goes in through, like, I think he has I can't, medically call what it is, but like he'll go through this weird spell of like he doesn't know where he is. So I think that that's what happened when he put all the stuff in the garbage can. Um, and so this morning he found another one of them in the freezer, and he had some of it, and he was like, "Oh, this is good." I was like, "Yeah, I know, but you threw some of it in the garbage can." And he apologized. He was like, "Yeah, sorry," and I was like, "I'll go get it back, but I made it for you, but you threw it away, some of it." Um, so yeah, so there's that. And yeah, we're just in a season where we all got to get smarter with how we spend our money. Practice fasting. That's legit. Like, I know I've been in this realm for so long that I think that everybody knows it by now, but not everybody knows this by now. You're not going to starve if you haven't eaten for a certain amount of time. The whole idea of in the 70s and 80s, and again, I hope that's going to be a part of my chapter, where they tried to teach people you need to have 3 square meals a day. And then if you're working out or trying to lose weight, you need to eat 6 meals a day. It's like, no, you don't. No, you don't. Um, think about religious uh, doctrines that practice fasting at certain times of the year. Like Islamic people do, Muslims, they practice a season of fasting. Hindu people, they practice a season of fasting. There's even some Christian sects that practice a season of fasting. Okay? They don't pass away. They don't, you know? Um, so fasting should be just as important as what you eat. Okay, to detox your body. Eating food is to fuel you and replenish you. It's not a form of entertainment. And that's again a part of like what I was thinking with that chapter. It's like they have turned food into entertainment. Okay. Oh, I'll check that out. I will, Magneticus. Yeah. Yeah, you do, because it's important. Think about, okay, I have, I guess, watched a lot of or studied under. There's this one doctor, called, his name is Dr. Jason Fung, and he is a endocrinologist, which means, I guess, a liver doctor, and he dealt with a lot of patients that were pre-diabetic or diabetic. And he started, these protocols with his patients about trying to, get their blood sugars down, right? So that they don't have to be on insulin or anything. And he has, over the years realized that fasting actually helps with that. You're detoxing your body. You're giving your digestion system a rest. It doesn't need to be working all the time, you know? It is eating is to build up your tissues, yeah, give you energy. But what if you already have the energy sources on your body? That's over when people are overweight, that's stored energy sources. I think again, a lot of this is where we know it, but somebody needs to actually point it out. It's like, that's excess energy, right? On your body, fat. Okay? So that's excess. So when people say, "Oh, I gotta exercise like to burn it off," again, do you see what I mean? Even when you're thin, however, you can survive at least a few days. No, not a few. You can survive a lot longer than even a normal healthy person. It takes a long time for you to starve to death. A long time. Okay, even if you're thin, it takes a long time. So now water, that's another thing. Okay, you can't survive a few days without water. It would be really hard. Okay, so but food, yeah, it takes a long time for you to starve to death. A long time. So now what we are doing is nutritional starving, eating processed foods. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the whole idea of, oh, I need to eat food, your stomach's growling. It's like, oh wait, stomach's growling. Drink some water. So most times when people's stomachs growl, it's because they're thirsty. That's what I mean by that. So it's like it takes a long time for you to actually starve to death. Okay. Um, so I practice water fasting, and I haven't had anything to eat this morning at all. Like I said, I had kale chips last night, and I'm trying to decide on should I start my fast today or wait until tomorrow. So I'm thinking I want to go. My band is one of my bandmates is doing something tonight. He's performing somewhere, so I kind of want to wait until tomorrow, quite honestly, because it seems like a bunch of us are might go, and if that's the case, somebody might say, "Hey, let's go to dinner first." So then I'm like, I don't want to be caught in that situation. I kind of want to wait until tomorrow to start the fast. And even when I go out to restaurants, I have a go-to meal is a big salad with some protein. I might like ask like what the protein selections are. So it's usually no matter what kind of restaurant I go to, unless it's like an Asian style restaurant, and even then, you can kind of figure out how to make it more healthy. Um, a lot of um, ethnic restaurants, like Asian restaurants, are kind of on a, I say kind of naturally more healthy anyway than most standard American diets. SAD, the sad diets, are a little bit more healthy by default because of what they offer. All right. Um. That's an interesting question. Are we celebrating our growth within or just the image the world sees? I would like to think that you are celebrating you. If you're looking for validation, that's something else because that sounds like either celebrate yourself in all of who you are or wait for the world to validate you. Yeah, same. Me too. Celebrating another day. Always. Always. Having gratitude. So, all right, so I'm gonna go, y'all. Thanks for the live. I might pop back on again because I'm actually on fall break as a teacher. I'm taking it a little more slow today. Um, like I said, I was able to food shop for my brother, but I also need to learn how to be able to cook for somebody else. So before, I'm going to say I live alone, and I even had a pet, passed away last year. But anyway, so it was easy for me to do my fasting and all the other food things. But now it's a little bit more challenging because it's somebody I have to take care of. They have to be eating on a regular basis. I have to like coach him how to eat with his medication and take care of him in between working at the same time. And then that leaves me going home and eating later. So I mentioned this in another video a day or two ago, where it's not what I'm eating, it's when I'm eating that I need to reevaluate and try to figure out how can I get this done, because for the most part, except for the bread, I've been started eating bread again. I eat pretty decently, right? But I need to figure out a system on I need to stop eating at a certain time so that I can get into that fasted state more regularly again. Okay, I appreciate that, exalted born. Thank you, I appreciate that. I hope that you are subscribed and watching the playlist and whatnot. So yeah, so I was, like I said, looking at my outline. It's pretty much laid out, and now with the whole AI thing, it's not that I don't know any of that stuff. Like, it's just that I was looking for people who could make my graphics, um, basically the graphics, because I can pretty much bust out the book. I just wanted something that could be more interactive. Again, this audience would be for families. This would not be a high level like book for somebody who's already in the world of like health and wellness. This would have to be for people who are intimidated by what's healthy, and I'm trying to do the best for my children, that kind of thing, where they, maybe start learning how to read food labels a little bit more discerningly. Maybe, practice from an early age with kids that eat eat more fruit, you know maybe lay off the salt, maybe put more spice versus salt on food, garlic and that kind of stuff. But anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna go. Thanks for hanging out with me. Like I said, I'm gonna go drop off this food, and yeah, I need to renovate my kitchen. So with that, I'll see you later. Bye. Bye. Thanks, y'all. Bye. Bye. Oh my goodness. Sorry, y'all. That was kind of rude. Sorry.